Hey everybody, this is Brothers Forge Gaming, and welcome to Easy's Room, Spooky Edition.
Fear the Forge.
Hey everybody, glad you can make it, glad you're stopping by. It's finally time getting back into Easy's Room, which is kind of a look at, collection pieces and stuff up close, piece by piece, because sometimes it's hard to do a full, room tour or something like that. You miss a lot of stuff, so we get up close and personal. This one's actually pretty going to be awesome. It's the spooky edition. It's October. It's Fear the Forge. It's basically, a couple days till Halloween. So why not do some spooky, creepy, rare, unique items that kind of sit around the room in our creepy corners hiding. There's things I always forget. I'm like, oh yeah, so we're going to give spotlight to some of that today on Easy's Room. Okay, first off, this is a gaming channel, so let's start off with some video games. You think really good horror style games in the video game world, you mentioned that. One of the first thoughts, of course, is Resident Evil and that whole franchise and all of that. You can probably always picture seeing that one classic scene from Resident Evil 1. And I do have my Resident Evil collection out. I don't have them all, but I definitely have a few different games. But we're not really here to get up and show that off. Well, maybe a little bit. We'll show it close up. All right, yeah, those are some pretty cool games, but I don't know if that was spooky enough. Let's try that again. All right, that is a little bit better. But like I said, we're not here to really go over the Resident Evil collection. Just wanted to show it off. But I know a lot of people enjoy that series. But what we wanted to talk to you is I've got some recently. I've had some for a while. Just some of the other games that are out there. Some of them are actually pretty familiar. But something else to play besides Resident Evil, and some of these games definitely have a lot of value. So it's always cool to show off some of that. And like I said, you got to start with some video games. So we'll just jump into that. And of course, this is kind of a popular franchise too. But why not play, if you ever see, or if you have them, they're kind of expensive now, but the Silent Hill. Here's the Silent Hill black label that I can't get open. Nice copy of this game. Super fun, creepy game. Great series. These games have all skyrocketed in price, so that's kind of cool. I'm glad I got a nice copy of that. So we just have to throw that out there, even though that's also a pretty popular series, but it's, I would say, the more valuable series. This is cool. If you never have played Alone in the Dark, of course I don't have the cover to this. Alone in the Dark 2, A New Night, was that Nightmare? Yeah, A New Nightmare on the Dreamcast. This is an awesome game and has some super creepy vibes and some wicked gameplay and stuff. So definitely something to look into if you're a Dreamcast fan or Alone in the Dark fan. Recently, of course, I've been playing through this, just about to finish it, but I have to give it so much credit. That's Parasite Eve. It's a small series. I think there's three or four games. I don't know. The first two are pretty good, and just awesome. Like JRPG, strategy RPG, and kind of like real time strategy characteristics all wrapped up into one with like a horror theme. So that's good stuff. So these are really cool. These are one of the main things I wanted to show off. I just got them recently. Always heard great things, and just reading the back, they look real creepy. But this year I picked up both Fatal Frame and Fatal Frame 2. One on Xbox, one on PS2. Obviously there. But they look great. I haven't even got a chance to play, but I am excited to play that, and I think that you guys should play these too. If you got them, play them if you got them. This is actually kind of a fun game. I just got it recently, so we're gonna show it off because I've never really heard that much about it. It was creepy, and fairly. It had a few mechanics that were a little off, but and that's Curse, the Eye of Isis, which is on the Xbox as well. So another, that seems to be around the era when a lot of good stuff came out. I think they just threw ratings out the window. And the last two, nothing. These ones aren't actually expensive or anything, but they're just kind of cool and creepy games that you might want to play. The first one is actually an Xbox Connect game, and that's why I always like to bring it up. And that's The Rise of Nightmares. And you just kind of go around and beat up creepy stuff, and I don't know. It's entertaining, but it's got a really strong rating, and there's some scenes and some things in it that are pretty wild. So, and then the other one is a incredible game that I play usually every year, but I never really get that far. I need to actually finish playing through them. It's Deadly Premonition on the Xbox 360, and this is a super entertaining game and just has some really creepy vibes. I'll never forget the first time you see it's like the girl bending over scene, and then she kind of like comes at you. It's creepy. So not a bad. And of course, being big retro gamers here, we got to throw something out. I know a lot of the good stuff, a lot of the expensive stuff is in that PS2, PS1 era. But this is always cool. If you haven't played, there's a lot of different things you can bring up. Zombie Ate My Neighbors, a lot of other common classics. But this one, I feel, doesn't get talked about, and that's, is it Haunting? Yeah, Haunting, starring Poltergeist. And this is a lot of fun on the Sega Genesis. It's the only place you can get it. You get to go around, terrorize families, and like, possess items. And it's a really entertaining game. I've always enjoyed it since I was a little kid, so if you are feeling like a poltergeist, then play Haunting on the Sega Genesis. Alright, we talked about some games. Now we need to jump over to the toy section of Easy's room. But we got a couple of cool things. If you're familiar with the NECA series, they make a ton of stuff now. Different figures of all sorts of characters. I mean, it's almost endless. Every time I go, you see random stuff. You can buy like Bob Ross, I think, and stuff. It's like whoever. And we definitely have some ones I enjoyed. I picked up some a while back. A couple of the Friday the 13th figures. Of course, you've seen one. Because these guys are perfect, for getting out and doing like stop motion with, which we like to do here. And you can, you've seen some of our things. Great idea. But yeah, so it's cool to have a handful of these guys, so you can do a series of stuff. Here's one that I don't really ever get to show off. I haven't done anything with him yet, and that's the Gremlins Ultimate Gremlin. And what's cool is he has a ton of props, like all sorts of things that I could be using for other things. So that's actually kind of cool. But the one that I really wanted to show off, those are, you know, you can buy those. This one is a little bit harder to get. This was a GameStop exclusive back in the day here, and this one is actually the NECA Freddy Krueger 8-bit Freddy from the Nightmare on Elm Street NES game. So this one's actually really cool. It's got the backdrop and some of the scenes from the game on there, and we've done some stuff with him too. He's a really awesome figure. So that is basically the NECA section. That's quick, but wanted to show it off because they're cool little guys, and there's a lot you can do with them. Moving along, we're definitely going to get into the little bit of creepy with the mask section. That's right. If you've seen some stuff, I got different kind of masks that I'm always putting on and playing around with. You can see here that I don't know. It's strange, right? No, but no, I just have a love for like props and things like that, and old like good quality masks. So you can see we got some definite cool things here. Like the new zombie masks this year, and just some other good vinyls. Jack Skellington full mask. And that's cool, but we're gonna dig a little deeper. We're gonna show you some of the actual stuff that I thought was cool or has been around for a while in Easy's room. Well, this one hasn't been around for all that long. This actually came out. I think it's been out for a while, but they had it at Spirit Halloween this year, and it's a NECA once again replica mask, and it's just cool. I was actually going to use it for some costume stuff. But it didn't end up working out, so now it's here to keep on display or whatever. This one is super cool. I can't wear it anymore. I think I tried, and it's kind of ripping and falling apart. This is an original, like 96, whenever the film came out. Scream mask, Ghostface. But it's like a kid size because it was actually my mask when I was like a teenager. Or it's a smaller size than I am now, I want to say. And this, however old that is, 30-year-old material is kind of like falling apart. So I don't really use it, but it's just really cool to have actually still. Really good quality. Well, besides like the falling apart part. And then the last one. This is actually just one of my favorite things. I know you guys have seen it, and this time I get to give you a little bit of a story about it. Oh. That's right, the BFG Monster is what I've grown to call him. Fix him a little bit there. But yeah, this is a full latex crazy mask here that my brother had got back in the late 80s, early 90s to do like a haunted house style thing. And then it got left around, and I've kind of, I've just had it ever since. I've always had it in a Halloween thing or stuff. I've always really thought this was a cool mask. And it is a great piece. Kind of reminds you of the Crypt Keeper or something like that.
So, was it good for you too? Ooh, talk about head over heels.
But no, I don't know. I thought I'd show him off. This I haven't been able to really find this particular one. I know some of the other stuff is a little bit more common, but this is kind of cool. And they just don't make them, like this anymore. Well, I mean they do, but they're it makes it valuable, and then it just also has a lot of nostalgia for me. So that was the mask section. So who remembers Boglins?
I'm a Boglin. Me and my buddies need a place to hide out. Come a little closer. Oh, did I scare you? Oh, I do that so well. If you take us home, we'll kiss your Aunt Martha. We'll eat your peas. And we hope you know what, girls. Hey, the name's Boglins. Each sold separately, and we're looking for good homes. Maybe yours.
That's right. Next up on our spooky, rare, and unique, and this definitely falls under the unique section of this tour, is Boglins, which was, an 80s toy that they've, of course, done remake stuff of. I thought they were just one of my favorite things. So this is kind of the funny story. This is why we have a couple here. They're these little puppets with movable eyes. Now, this is the fella they released. I think you can get them from a few different places, but you can get them through like GameStop and stuff. And this was a remake. Which is cool about this guy is he was the original one that I had. So as a kid, I had the special edition Blopkin, which he's a pretty fancy guy. Worth a couple bucks, the original one. But these are cool. They are definitely like lightweight, comparative. You can charge their eyes up and make their eyes glow. But these guys are really cool. Always had a lot of fun with them. But what was really cool is when me and Obs first met, I was kind of talking about how much I really liked these things. They're a really cool, big part of my childhood. So that's right. She had gotten me an original, real deal D-Works in the box here. So he's cool. You can just tell he's a little bit more heavy duty. They even just look a little bit better. I think these original ones look fantastic, and they just have that little bit of weight. Hefty. With this one's still clean and good shape. And it has a little bit of minor decoloration, but really cool. And Boglins are becoming harder and harder to get, so really cool to show off my Boglin. All right, next up on this adventure is a definite trip back in time, and that's my 1950s Showtime Kodak 8 or Kodak Showtime 8 movie projector, and this plays 8mm film. It's really cool. It's before the Super 8 period, so it's a lot of there is color, but it's black and white color, no sound, just really cool. And you're like, why is that so? Well, it's old, it's unique, and the creepy part is, they have some great movies, which we've already got. We got Dracula, Bela Lugosi's Dracula. And the Deadly Mantis, which are a lot of fun. But we have this whole tin of stuff as I knock all this stuff down. It's just a whole slew and box of stuff that we had, family films and stuff. And if you haven't seen old 1930s family films, then I don't think you know what creepy is. But so that has to make the list. It's too much fun. It's actually just kind of a new adventure. We've got it kind of recently, so can't wait to see what we can do. We also have an actual camcorder, so maybe someday we'll make our own 8mm movie. So, well, you know that we love our horror movies here at Brothers Forge Gaming. So it just wouldn't feel right if we didn't at least throw in a couple of movies on this trip through the Easy's room. And with that being said, we might as well do some VHS. We love VHS collecting, getting some of that old original cheesy and kind of valuable content. So we have a list of a few of the more unique titles that we've come across and added to the collection. Some of them are a little common, but we'll start off with those actually. How about that? So just a nice, cool copy of the Creepshow 2. Awesome. We have them both, but I just wanted to show. This is one of my favorites. The ones on here, I really remember from a kid. In fact, the Lake Blob thing, like, scared me forever. So, why did you let me watch this, Mom? And then, actually, one of our more valuable ones was an actual VHS copy of the classic there, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So you can't go wrong with the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So, dude, really cool. The rest of these, are probably ones that you haven't so much heard of. But they're kind of cool, and they're worth a couple of bucks, and they're really cheesy, so we love them. That is Death Not the End. That's the Zombie Chronicles there. That's actually like late 90s, maybe even like 2000 or something. So, yeah, that was kind of cool. Just a creepy, very bad. And then the original here, this is awesome. The Trilogy of Terror, an awesome little flick. Of course, with three different trilogies. Karen Black plays all the roles, all 4 girls in it, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, really cool. This is a good one. Nice little piece to have. And then this one's super fun. I actually really enjoy this. So this one's like real cheesy. It just looks cheesy on the back. But that's Horror of the Zombies. We're getting cult classic on you right here. Maybe, if you can find that cult. So that's really cool. And then this is like a Beyond. So this is a curiously creepy, curated anthology, Halloween Babylon. So there's like a cool shop, a cool guy, a horror, they had a big event up there in Portland at the Retro Gaming Expo, and they had a VHS swap this time. And so this guy makes these like own anthologies of other rare things, and puts them together. And so it's actually cool. This is like definitely one of a kind, but he goes to like big lengths. They look cool. The case looks cool. A lot of like little extras all about it. And what I like is not only did he throw in the Hollywood Babylon sticker, but also there's an Arn Anderson wrestling card, and that was just cool for me because we're huge fans of the wrestling. So yeah, if you don't know what to watch tonight, maybe look up one of these great flicks. Alright, so we checked out some movies, but what about some reading material? That's right, we got a couple of cool, random, I guess most of them are comics here. So comics, I was going to say some books, but I don't think I have the books involved here, but just some little cool things. I just wanted to show off, just randomly. Obviously have a whole bunch of comics and things like that. It's really cool. I didn't actually dig them all out, but Predators, some cool graphic versions of Spawn, cool Alien 3. So definitely some good stuff. But we had a couple of pieces that I always thought was cool because, it's fun when you get, comics signed and stuff. So the first one of a couple here is one I actually went to a trade show before we even started YouTube, I think. It was just when I started collecting, I wanted to get into that business and that vibe. And we went up to Salem, Oregon, actually, and ran into, it was more of like a comic convention, but it had a lot of games, and I knew some game vendors there, so I went out, and what was cool is there was a guy, and he would draw you. He did some artwork and stuff on the Walking Dead, and he would draw, and he was like in his head thinking superheroes and stuff, things you wanted onto the cover of this kind of special issue of The Walking Dead, so he made the cover for you. And then, being a video game guy, and I just said, I want you to do Mario, and he had to like look it up. He didn't even hardly know what Mario looked like. It wasn't his bag, but he did a great job. It's cool. That was Happy Doodles. So drew me a Walking Dead Mario, and gave me a signature there. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's one of my first one. That one actually, I like that one. It means a little bit. It's cool. This one is really cool, but I found this whole thing. It's not like I actually went and had it signed, but I went to an antique store, and it was cool because me and Mr. C are both, X-File fans. David Duchovny. This is the X-File Collections, super cool comic. But, what you realize when you look real close, it has, an autograph on there, a number 137 to 750, and then it actually had the whole certificate of authenticity on the back. So you knew it was legit, and that was just kind of cool. I thought that was a cool little piece of. I must have a fold-out thing up there, but yeah, a cool little piece, just to find that to go with some stuff that I already had. And then recently we went to a trade show and we were trading off some stuff, and it's where I got one of the Fatal Frames and things like that. And a guy's like, oh, he knew I was really into horror, and this was cool because he wanted to get rid of it, and I didn't want to put a whole lot into it because I'd already I traded too much, I needed to. But he came and made me a super good deal. It was like a real low-end trade for some commons, like $30 or something. And that is a first edition alternate cover, Ice Cream Man. It's like a 2018 gonna be a show graphic comic. Really, really cool. It's graded and nice little piece there. Really, really cool. So just it's exciting when I get stuff like this kind of randomly and for a good price. And it, some of these things do have a little bit of value to people who are looking for them. So, well, this one you can't read, but if you're out there, you want some reading material, check it out. We couldn't get through a spooky tour without showing some of the best horror games around, and that's what comes out on the NES. So we do pride. We love the original Nintendo, big huge NES fans, and we have quite a nice little collection. In fact, I went out of my way to make sure and try to get a lot of in-box horror type stuff. We even have some more not pulled down here, but just wanted to show off some of the epic horror games that lay on the shelves that we play every year. With some honorable mentions that I didn't even pull down. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is pretty cool and totally rad. And then definitely some other loose games. And of course, let's start with the one of these that is loose, but we have to talk about that. And that's A Nightmare on Elm Street. And that is an awesome one. This is just such a cool game. Love playing through it. Got a great vibe. It's just such a great playable game. I totally recommend playing that. And then next, also one of my favorite games of all time, and that is Friday the 13th on the NES. So this is a nice complete in box, or maybe I was missing the manual. I can't remember, but it's boxed at least, and some other goodies. But this is a really cool. This could be this is like one of my top 5 favorite games. Here's another great one that's just really fun to play. This one I know is complete in box. That's Jaws, old school original Shark Killer. So this one's a lot of fun, quick play, fun to get through. This one I've had for a while, but it was really, really cool to get, and once again find it in box. Alien 3, I think I have it on a few other systems, but really cool to just have it, have it on the NES. Like the NES version is always just one of our favorite versions of everything. Of course, classic staple Fester's Quest. I believe we have all the Addams Family games for the NES, but of course Fester's Quest, one of the fan favorites, and great complete copy there. And then one of my cleanest Christmas copies on one of my favorite games of all time. Once again, this could be even another top 5 for me. I love playing through this game, and that's Gremlins 2: The New Batch, which to me is just, it's like a version of Fester's, but just a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more action, skill, and all that fun. Plus, you can really jam through it. if you get good. So that is definitely some of my favorite NES horror that sits around in Easy's room. Well, can you believe it? We made it to the end of the video, but we had to leave something great for last, right? And I feel like this comes up on the spooky, unique, and rare, all the categories. So it's really cool. You know, we've already done a little, you know, couple of Nightmare on Elm Street things, but nothing can really prepare you for this awesome toy in the collection. And that's right, that's the Freddy Fright Squirter, which is just a very, very, very interesting, unique toy here. So really cool. We'll even pop it. It has been out of the box, so so this is cool. You know, fully boxed. Isn't that the weirdest thing? Anyways, you know, you can fill up a little thing with water in here, and you give them a little squirt, and then you could be the bearer of bad news. You could really go rain on someone's parade. So yeah, just had to show this. This is pretty cool. Got this at a random rare like toy store that had like nostalgic toys. I don't know. It was really cool, but got a great price. It was when they first opened up, so they were pricing stuff real cheap. It's official 1989. You know, Freddy's back. But yeah, we'll leave you with that right there. If that doesn't scare the pants off you, I don't know what will. Well, that was fun. Thanks for dropping in. Hope you liked another edition here of Easy's Room, the spooky edition. Hopefully you didn't get too scared. You know, we had some pretty cool stuff. You know, I just wanted to get some stuff out that doesn't really get to be shown, talked about, or, you know, just I thought is really fitting or creepy for this situation. So I just, you know, I thought it was fun to make a video. We're going to be diving back into the Easy Room collection, looking at pieces of the room and you know, breaking it down and showing off some really cool stuff. So if you're really into that, look for the future, because we've got a lot of collection pieces coming up. But yeah, it's been fun, but we gotta run, right? As always, guys, take it easy, and we'll see you next time on Brothers Forge Gaming. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Brothers Forge Gaming.